Hey guys, it's Wolvermere, and welcome to my review of Paper Mario The Origami King, where I will be analysing everything the game has to offer, including what it is, discussing its gameplay elements, and overall determining if this will be worth your time and money. Let us begin. So Paper Mario The Origami King is the latest instalment in the comedic adventure/RPG series that is the Paper Mario games, which reimagines the much loved Mario franchise in a unique and charming way, with all of its characters reimagined as thin paper cutouts. The Paper Mario franchise has acquired itself a kind of cult following, with its comedic story writing and humorous dialogue. The Origami King continues this tradition with many comedic puns and one-liners that poke fun at various aspects of the Mario world. I couldn't help but laugh at some of the dialogue at times. The storyline isn't too incredibly inspired, as once again, Peach and her kingdom require saving from a big bad ne'er-do-well. However, it is not Bowser as it usually is in Mario games. Instead, it is a baddie named Ollie, the aforementioned Origami King, who is hell-bent on folding the Mushroom Kingdom and all of its inhabitants into origami versions of themselves, who serve him in a kind of drone-like capacity. I did think that this was relatively dark for a Mario plotline, however, it's all relatively offset by the game's comedic dialogue and colourful locations. Can't be too dark after all. There are many likeable characters in this game, and some of these join Mario for part of his adventures, such as Professor Toad in the scorching sandpaper desert, and Bobby the Bob-omb in the autumn mountain area, who is easily one of my favourite characters and gives us a unique insight into what life as a Bob-omb in the Mario universe is like. Ah, Bobby, you certainly make an impact, my little friend. There are plenty of interactions with these well-known Mario characters, such as Toads, Goombas and Koopas, which give us this humorous insight into what life as each might be like. Our main permanent companion, however, throughout the game is an origami character known as Olivia, who helps Mario in numerous ways during his quest throughout the Mushroom Kingdom. I find her to be an endearing character, and one who is always there to guide the player when they're lost. A simple tap of the X button calls upon Olivia to subtly guide you where you need to go, if you get a bit lost or stumped. And thanks to this, I never found myself stuck in any particular area for too long. Most of the game will see you exploring all manner of colourful areas, collecting items, saving toads and solving puzzles to progress the game. However, the main element of the game that accompanies this overworld exploration is its unusual battle system, and oh what a mixed bag it is. There are two versions of it, one for normal enemies and another specifically for boss battles. The normal battles see you in turn-based combat and attempting to line up your enemies in a bizarre puzzle minigame in order to deal increased damage and take them out in a single turn. Sometimes this is simple enough to do, but other times the puzzle is so fiendishly difficult to solve that I often ended up chucking coins at the toads to solve it for me. With no tangible reward or levelling system to encourage you to do these battles besides just earning more coins, I find these battles do get very tedious, and I would often do everything in my power to avoid them. On the other hand, I think the boss battles are far more interesting to be a part of. Though they take place on the same bizarre puzzle ring, it mixes it up by placing the boss in the centre instead, and placing Mario at the edge. You then have to move the rings around in order to create a path to the boss and unleash an attack. What makes these a little more compelling in my eyes is that each has a different weakness you need to find and exploit, whether this be attacking from a certain angle or unleashing a special attack at the right time. Working this out and creating the path on the rings to do so made these far more interesting than the regular battles in my opinion, which really were just tedious by the end of the game. I really liked how different each boss battle was, and I honestly looked forward to each one, even if they were, in this case here, a box of coloured pencils. There is also a somewhat gimmicky motion control ability Mario has in his arsenal for this game, called the 1000 fold arms. This ability is triggered at certain points in the game to open up new paths, and is even implemented during boss battles as a means of unleashing special attacks. I feel like the ability is a bit gimmicky at times, but the fact that motion controls for this feature can be turned off makes it tolerable in my books. Plus, some of the 1000 fold arm attacks on the bosses are actually kinda cool, I will admit. This game will keep you busy for a while, clocking in at around 30 hours in length with plenty of toads and collectibles to find. There's plenty to see and do every step of the way, with some outright wacky scenes at times that I couldn't help but be amused by when they cropped up. So I guess it's time for my score. For Paper Mario The Origami King, I give it a 7 out of 10. While I really enjoyed exploring the different locations in the overworld, along with its amusing dialogue and cutscenes, I just think it's a shame that the battle system for the most part holds the experience back by bogging it down in these meaningless and often tedious encounters. I think there's some interesting ideas at play here, it's just the game as a whole I think is trying to be too many genres at once, between adventure, RPG and puzzler, and I think a little more focus would have served the game well in the long run. That said, I did enjoy the game as a whole, with its colourful locations, wacky moments and memorable side characters, and I actually really enjoyed the boss battle variant of the puzzle battle system. I think it's a very Marmite experience, with its weirdly implemented puzzle mechanics, though if you can look past these, then there is actually a very charming and humorous experience in store for you, that should tide you over until the next big game release. And that about wraps it up. As always, if you found this video helpful, do be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this every week. This has been Wolvermere, and until the next one, stay cool, stay safe, and keep on gaming.